Hi, welcome back. Today let's have a short tutorial where we will look at identifying motifs in a network. So how do we actually identify motifs and use basic network X commands to do this? So if you remember, what are motifs? Motifs we said are overrepresented subgraphs in a given network. So given any network, we now have the challenge of identifying subgraphs, and in a sense we need to know some sort of distribution of the subgraphs in this network, and then see if your particular subgraph of interest is more likely to be found in this network compared to random realizations, right? So that is what we said when we said we'll do a distribution of subgraphs, right? So across such similar networks that look similar, networks that are representative of this a family of networks, right? Do you expect to find a lot more subgraphs of a particular type? Right? So we said that we will rewire the network and things like that. So let's look at a simple example today. I'm going to now switch to the Python notebook. A simple tutorial on motif identification in networks. So let us try to identify triangular subgraphs, and we'll randomize the network using the configuration model, and then check whether the triangular subgraph is a motif or not really. There used to be a very nice tool called FanMod to do this. I unfortunately don't seem to find it readily available anywhere, although I have like some saved versions of that. The FanMod tool is able to generate motifs very nicely, and it generates all kinds of motifs, all kinds of subgraphs from a network, and then it tells you what is the probability of. It basically gives you something like a Z score, right? So Z is nothing but x minus mu by sigma. So where mu is basically the mean distribution or mean number of times this motif is found in random networks. So random networks that are basically random realizations of your real network. They are similar looking random networks, basically same number of nodes, same number of edges, and as we said, the same degree distribution as well. But today I don't see a fan mode available. I can just do a quick check. So you have a paper, but I don't think the tool remains any longer. Let Yeah. So if you see this image, it clearly tells you that the frequency in the original network, mean frequency in the random network, standard deviation in the random network, and the Z score, right? And the very high Z score and a very low p value. So it actually means that this particular motif, this particular subgraph is a motif in whichever network was studied here. This is a nice it used to be a nice tool. I don't know if there is some version of this or if this algorithm can be readily implemented today and so on. Anyway, that's a quick aside. So let's go back to our task here. Now we are looking at motif identification. So we import NumPy, Matplotlib, the usual stuff, network X and so on. And now let's define a function that returns all triangular subgraphs in a network, basically brute force, right? So look at all combinations of 3 nodes if they have 3 edges. Okay, so this may take a little while to run. In fact, it was fast enough, right? So because the network is actually, I mean, this was just the function. And now let's just create a simple graph. So here you go. So you do see quite a few triangles here, and now let's compute the total number of triangular subgraphs. So that is 8. Yeah. Um, you see, 4 peripheral triangles and 4 triangles at the center. The like 0, 9, 6 is not a triangle because 0 and 6 aren't connected, and so on. So the total number of subgraphs is 8. So now let's generate 1000 random networks using the configuration model. Basically, we take this degree sequence, same as what you see here. So let me try to split this out first. Okay, and yeah, here you go. So this is the set of degrees that you have in this network. So your degrees are 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, and 4. Right. So this is your degree sequence. You have now, can you generate random networks, random graphs using a configuration model, degree sequence, and store them as network X graphs. Okay. So, and then you remove self edges from each of these graphs, and then get the number of triangular nodes in each of these graphs. You basically call the function that we defined here. Okay. So this might just take a little while because we are looking at every single graph. So we are generating thousands of 1000 graphs, and we now have the counts in each of those. Let's just plot that and see. So here is your plot of the number of triangular subgraphs, right? And you see that it's maxing out at probably around 2 or something is like the maximum, and what you see is your real network has way more subgraphs than you see in any of the random networks that we've seen so far. I mean, if you did a larger sample, you may see 1 or 2, but this does mean that this is not at all expected by chance. If you had a graph with such degrees, if you had a graph with such degrees, you are not at all likely to find so many triangles in that graph. Therefore, the triangular subgraph has a very high, falls in the highest percentile and is therefore a motif in the given example network. So, the simple way to understand, a simple example to illustrate how you can identify motifs. So, but remember the larger pipeline or the workflow for identifying motifs. So, what do? You basically start with a graph where you want to find motifs, and now you count the number of times a particular subgraph occurs, right? So we said the subgraphs must occur significantly more frequently in the real network. So you need to know its frequency in the real network first up, and now you identify its frequency in all the random realizations of this very real network. You basically look at what are the number of like use the configuration model or like an edge swap model or so on, and or we said we'll cut stubs and connect stubs and so on. Again, very similar to the configuration model. So what you do is you generate such networks, and now you compare what is the number of such subgraphs found of your interest that are found in those networks. What is the distribution? How does that distribution look like? And where does your real network fall in that distribution? Is it closer to the mean, meaning it's not at all surprising, or it's not statistically significant, or it's closer to one end, it's much higher than you observe in the real networks? But then your motif is statistically significant. Your subgraph's frequency is statistically significant, which means it is therefore a motif now. You wouldn't call it a motif before you find the statistical significance. So I hope you got a grasp of this, and you can try doing this with different kinds of networks and see what kind of motifs are found in various kinds of networks.